Here's something that a lot of people struggle with, and when I'm dealing with especially new clients or potential clients, this is the issue they have. And the issue is they don't have enough money. And the reason they don't have enough money is because they don't have a money plan. So I'm going to show you how to put a 30-day money plan into place, and in the end of that 30 days, you're going to have a lot more money in your pocket. And it's very easy to do. So let's get into this right now. So I want to welcome you back to my channel, and if you haven't been on this channel before, I want to welcome you to my channel. I want you to like and subscribe. On this channel, we talk about the Mindset for Success training and how to use it to be able to achieve your goals and achieve your dreams and to be able to move in the direction of your dreams. So we're looking at entrepreneur problems and the solutions. How do you solve this problem so I can keep moving forward and growing my business? So if you're a driven entrepreneur, this channel is for you. You're in the right place. So what I want to talk about is the 30-day plan, having a 30-day plan. So when I was starting out and I was struggling, I didn't have enough money. I wasn't able to do the things I wanted to do. Like I didn't have money for marketing. I didn't have money for, say, paying for training, for coaching. I didn't have money for any of that because I was on a tight budget. I wasn't making enough money, and that was kind of the reason why I was jumping into becoming an entrepreneur and jumping into learning how to build income streams, is because the income stream I had just wasn't getting it done. It wasn't enough money. So first thing that I had to start to do is figure out, okay, how do I put more money back into my pocket? Where am I spending money that I don't need to? And the easy one that I found was my morning coffee. So in the morning, because I would drive to work and it was like a 30-minute drive, I would stop at the drive-thru and grab a coffee on my way to work. And I would drink that coffee and kind of wake up and start my day. So I realized that I was spending about $2 a day on coffee. I was spending more than that on coffee, but I was spending like the first morning coffee. I could brew that at home and just have a big mug, and I could actually have a larger coffee than what I was buying. So I cut that out, and I went the 5 days, and at the end of the week, I had an extra $10 in my pocket that I would have spent on coffee. So what I decided to do was I put that $10 aside. So I had a little lockbox that I would keep some emergency money in. I threw the $10 in there. And then the following week, I did the same routine. I threw another $10 in there. So by the end of the second week, I had $20. And I looked at my situation. I said, okay, but I'm also, every Friday I was buying a lunch. So I'd bring my lunch Monday to Thursday, but on Fridays I would buy a lunch because I was lazy, stay up a little bit late on Thursday night, and didn't want to make a lunch in the morning. So I said, okay, what if I made my lunch for Friday as well? And that money that I would have spent on lunch, which was around $15, I'll put that into my pot too. So sooner than later, I had like, $25 in my pot. And then the following week, another 25. So my pot was growing very quickly just by doing those two little things. Cutting out morning coffee for the drive-thru, making it myself, and then making my own lunch, not buying lunch. Those two things put, like I said, $25 a week, $100. After 30 days, I had $100 that was back in my pot that I could use for whatever I wanted to use. Now the key for this, what makes this work is you have to take the money, the paper money, and put it in somewhere where you can visit it, where you can go and visit it and you can watch it grow. Because just having it on your debit card or having it in a savings account it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. To have that real money and be able to touch it and visit it and watch it grow, watch the stack get bigger and bigger, it will fuel you to look for other ways that you can save money. And then always pay that money, pay that physical money to that pot. By doing that, what you're doing is you're not going to spend it on something else. Like you're not going to buy extra groceries because you had that money that you saved and now all you did was spend it on something else. Because what you want is to have that money to be able to use for trips, to be able to use for training, to be able to use for marketing. You want to be able to have money for your business by cutting out some things that are luxuries that you don't really need, and you don't have to cut out forever. But by doing this, you start to build a better relationship with money. You'll start to understand where your money is going, and you'll find that by the end of like the first or the second month, because the first month is just kind of getting a feel for it and getting used to it. by the end of the second month, you'll start to see that even your paycheck, you have a little bit more money left in the bank by the time your next paycheck comes in, because you start to get disciplined with how much money you're spending, why you're buying things. Do you really need that? Or can I save this money and use it later on as it builds up for something else? So it's a great technique to have. Now, why most people fail at this, but you're not most people, so you won't, but why most people fail at this is because it's hard to do. It's hard to be disciplined. Like, it's easy to do the first week because it's the 5 days. Yeah, you're doing it. It's pretty easy. The first Monday of the second week, it's kind of hard. The third day, so by the Wednesday, so now you've done it for a week and a half. Now it's starting to get where it's like, I don't know, man. I can just buy one coffee, and I'm still gonna put $8 in the pot instead, or I'll just buy a lunch today because I really don't feel like making a lunch. It's Friday morning. I didn't get up. I slept in, and I don't have time to make a lunch. It's easy to break the habit, and once you break the habit, it's so hard to get it going again. But you're not most people, so you're going to be like me and stick to it because you have a reason for it. So you got to have a good reason for why you're doing it. And for me, the reason was, first of all, I wanted to have some emergency cash that I could grab right away. That doesn't matter what bills I have. I had this extra money. And then once I started to build that stack up and I watched it build up, then I could start to use some of I had a limit of, I think it was like $300 at the time that I wanted as an emergency, just money that I could use for, fix my car or whatever I needed. Then on top of that, as it still started to build up, it built up to, I think it was about $1,500. When it was getting bigger and bigger, then I started to say, okay, I can use some of it to invest in my business. I can use some of it for, Christmas time. It was great to have that extra cash to be able to buy gifts out of. And then, as I was saying, because I was getting into that habit, my paycheck was also, I had more money left over after every paycheck. So by the end of the month, I was having like a couple of $100 that I didn't use. Whereas when I started this, I was basically check to check, or almost not even enough for check to check, but I was basically check to check. And then I got to where I had a breathing room just by doing a 30-day plan in the beginning and learning that discipline. So that's what I want you to try. I want you to put that into play, because you're going to find that once you get through the first 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks are very critical. The first 3 weeks are critical. By the time you get to the end of the first month and you get a real feeling for this, and you've watched that stack of money build up in your pot, then you're going to be able to really start focusing on, okay, here's my money goals. Here's the things that I need for my business, for my family, for the fun things I want to do. And now you can start set targets and watch as that cash money builds up. And then you take a bunch of that cash money and you deposit into your bank account, and then you can do whatever you need to do with that money. Like you can pay for things, whatever you need to do. You know how money works. I don't need to tell you that. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. This is something that we do in the Mindset for Success training. I also have a book, how to create a positive relationship with money. You can check that out. I'll put a link in that. And you want to learn more about this stuff, subscribe to this channel. We're talking about entrepreneur challenges and entrepreneur hurdles all the time. And then that's it for this video. So until next time, you heard.